this guy might look like a lobster. But his name's Mike and he's not such a bad guy. Mike, difference between Pro Stock and Top Fuel?
Difference of type of fuel they run and type of motor they perform with. Pro Stock runs on electronic fuel injection, 500 cubic inch fuel injection with running 104 octane race fuel. Nitro carb, funny car, or Top Fuel run on a 500 cubic inch turbocharged motor running nitromethane.
Okay, and what's the nitromethane? Is that got any petrol or gas in it? Is it just
no petrol or gas.
okay? But they need to start that with.
They gotta start their motor when they're doing their warm up with a gas or alcohol before they switch over to nitromethane.
Okay. And the difference between Top Fuel and Funny Car?
Basically wheelbase.
Wheelbase.
Yeah. Top Fuel wheelbase is 125 inches long, and a Funny Car is 95 inches long.
So the Top Fuel manages to get a bit more speed because they got a longer wheelbase.
Actually, Funny Car will do a greater speed than Top Fuel.
Oh, really?
Because their Top Fuel, the rev limiter is set to a certain rev limiter, so they can't overextend that rev limiter. So the fastest Top Fuel run to date is about 334 miles an hour, and the fastest Funny Car run is 339 miles an hour. You'll have a quicker ET with a Top Fuel dragster because of aerodynamics, and they don't have that body slowing them down. So you'll get a faster ET but a slower mile-an-hour speed as opposed to a Funny Car. They'll do a quicker speed because the rev limiter is set to a higher rev limiter, so they'll actually rev up higher.
So the Funny Car goes to high rev. What kind of revs? Any idea?
10,000 RPMs, and a Funny Car is at 10,500 RPMs.
Wow, and they're set. So they're set to that. They can't go any faster than that.
Yeah, they're set. That's NHRA specification for a Top Fuel and a Funny Car.
Okay, Mike. So ET
is elapsed time. How the time once they break the beam at the starting line to the beam at the finish line is their ET.
And have they all got to break the line at the beginning at the same time? No, they can be slightly different.
That's when you have a different reaction time. So okay. How quick they react off the line when the light turns green. So you'll have a car, you can have two cars going down the track. You can have one that has a slower elapsed time win the race because he got a quicker reaction time off the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing was do they have gears in these cars? They're changing gear, right?
Only in Pro Stock.
Only in Pro Stock. So
Pro Stock has a five-speed gearbox. Funny Car and Top Fuel is all a centrifugal clutch. So okay. There is no gears. As the motor starts winding up, the clutch gets tighter and tighter until it's a 1-to-1 ratio with the motor.
Okay.
So there is no shifting of gears because of the amount of horsepower they have. A transmission wouldn't hold the horsepower.
So have they got to control the revs then? When they take off, they're controlling the revs, or they're just putting the foot down, bam?
All the way to the floor.
All the way to the floor?
Mm-hmm.
And then the car does the rest?
Car does the rest.
And we think at around 300 foot, the clutch is properly engaged and it's direct engine to wheels.
Yep.
Prior to that, the clutch is slipping.
Yep. Clutch is slipping and tires are slipping.
And we're making a lot of noise, and the engine's trying to over rev them, presumably, because it's not got traction.
Right.
When it gets proper traction, that's when the power kicks in. That's when the thing starts going.
Yeah. So yeah, whenever they're first taking off, it's wheels are slipping. It's all a dance to get off the starting line because you couldn't have the motor and the clutch locking up 1-to-1 right off the starting line. So it's clutch slipping and tire slipping until they start moving down the track, and then everything starts coming together 1-to-1, full traction,
Cool.
and off you go.
Great. That's. But just let me say one thing. Next time you come, bring a hat
I'll bring a hat.
because you look like a lobster now.
I had to.
Why is Mopar and Hemi? Why are those words significant? They're both the same.
Because
They were instrumental in the American muscle car.
I'll show you a shirt here real quick.
Very instrumental. Going back to the Challenger Charger days.
There you go. That's what the Hemi was called back in the day, was the Elephant,
Okay.
which was the 426 Hemi.
So that's 426 cubic
Cubic
inches. But they can run up to 500 cubic inches. Has anybody running
Basically,
500?
They took this they took this platform, the 426 Hemi platform, reconfigured it to 500 cubic
CC.
inches, but it's still all based off of this platform, the 426 Hemi.
Which could be producing between 10 to 12,000 horsepower, which is incredibly effing fast.
The two different style engines. You'll have a Hemi engine and you'll have a Chevrolet engine competing against one another. That's why last year when Erica Enders was running Mopar, they couldn't do shit with it.
I thought that was because they changed the configuration
No,
from the fuel injection system.
They went to a Mopar power plant. They couldn't get it figured out. They had to go back to a Chevy power plant because they had more data with Chevrolet and they knew what it wanted as far as performance. Both of them are two different animals when you're tuning it.
But that's just pro stock.
That's just pro stock.
Okay, so what's the configuration of the Chevy engine then? If there's well, who made the Hemi originally then?
That's a Dodge.
So it's all based on Dodge.
The Dodge brothers.
So Toyota comes in, kicks ass with Antron. What kind of engine's that?
Hemi.
But it's the same. Is it based on a Dodge base again?
It's based on the Dodge base. All of them are based on the Dodge base.
But it's got Toyota parts on top.
No, it's got a Toyota name tag on it.
Okay.
A Toyota name badge.